going? How's your foster home? What can I do to help you? What can I do to speak on your behalf when I see the judge? You know, they're asking, do they want to go home, or they want to live here, or they want to see their siblings more, and your job is to bring that to the judge. Hey, Jack's doing great in his foster home, but he says he's not seeing his siblings. How can we get that going? So separate than DFACS, we work with them, but we have the opportunity, because we are lay trained citizens, to speak freely, and we are not bound by the policy and laws that DFACS is bound by. So it's just serving at the best interest of the child.
How does it differentiate from guardian ad litem?
Excellent question. Same thing. In Florida, it's called guardian ad litem. In Georgia, it's called CASA. However, key players here, when a child is in the system, they are assigned a guardian ad litem who is an attorney. And then I shouldn't say they are assigned. They are given a guardian ad litem who is an attorney that speaks on their behalf. And then mother or father is also given the opportunity to have a court-appointed lawyer or a private lawyer or attorney. So that is something that we do. Thankfully, we have a great relationship with the attorneys that practice in the Southern Judicial Circuit. So we have a pretty good relationship with some of them, the guardian ad litems.
And the training is largely sort of peer-led rather than formal training?
Great question. The training is by me, and it is building relationships with children, trust, building relationships with kids, the court system, and substance abuse, domestic violence, the cycle, that sort of thing. I think for those of us who have been in the field, we take a lot of it for granted, what we know and what is not common knowledge. And a lot of people come to the training thinking, I don't know if I can do this, but we already have a lot in our own little bag of tricks that we do as parents, as educators, as citizens, as sisters, as daughters, as mothers, that some of these children haven't been afforded. So. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions?
Can you give an example of when perhaps your assessment is different from DFACS?
Ooh, great question. So DFACS, again, is bound by policy and procedure, and I will give an example. I don't want to break confidentiality, but if DFACS is making a recommendation in court, let me back up a little bit. We always, before court, email our report, our independent investigation, to the judge, to the guardian ad litem, to any of the attorneys involved in the case, and to DFACS. If our recommendation is different than them, we always give them a heads up so they're not in court blindsided. So if they're recommending that this child be moved to Albany to live with a fictive kin, and we're recommending, no, the child should stay put in this foster home in Thomasville, we're going to have that dialogue before court so that there isn't there's a conflict in terms of the working relationship. Did that answer your question? Okay. And lots of times we're on the same page. The difference is that DFACS is bound by this policy, and this is an example I give all the time. Say this woman is having her 5th child, and all of her children have been born with substances in their system, and she's been born with substance, or she's given birth while she's under the influence. So DFACS has their steps that they have to follow if that child is born with substances in their system. We can come in, and then they have to put a case plan into play, and they have X amount of time to do X, Y, and Z to have reunification. We can come in and say, okay, look, this is the 10th time, or the 5th time that she's given birth in this situation. Let's go ahead and move faster. Let's find this child not to be in a foster home. These foster parents are not interested in adopting. Let's find them a foster home that is interested in adopting. Let's ask the hard questions. Or we can say, you know what, this is the 5th time she's given birth, and this time she's gotten it together. It's been 3 months. She's not on drugs. She has a job. She stayed away from her abuser. Let's put services in her home, and then see if we can get this child reunified. You know, maybe she has gotten it together. So. And a lot of, yes, ma'am.
How many kids right now do you think are in the system, or at least in Thomas County roughly?
Great question, and I get asked that a lot, and I want to say it's around 100. I know in Colquitt it's around 150, and I think we're serving about 90. So we would like, right now, we have kids waiting for CASAs, and we would like for it to be the other way around, where there's CASAs waiting for kids, and a lot of sibling groups. And a lot of, in Colquitt County, a lot of the issue is meth. So we have lots of sibling groups that are coming in because of that. Yes, ma'am.
Where's your funding coming from?
Great question. So we are funded by legislative resources, but also we are part of the Victims Advocacy Fund. So what that means is every person that is paying their fees and fines in terms of parole and probation, our children are considered victims. So a chunk of money comes from that as well. And then we do some fundraising, but it's pretty minimal. We haven't, I don't know if it's because we're in the South, I don't know if it's because of just our community, but we have great support locally from people that want to give, whether it's donating time, whether it's becoming an intern, whether it's donating money, whether it's serving a case. So there's a lot of, and it's interesting in the different counties too, but there's a lot of what can I do to help. So people are very interested and excited, I find, to be a part of it. It's a good organization, and it is everywhere. So we have some CASAs that have retired to this area that used to do it somewhere else and are now doing it here. And again, it is national, so CASA is in every state. Anybody else have any questions?
So a faculty up here can be seasonal, like that is, they might not be around in the summer.
Say it again.
There are faculty like
Yes.
yourself that often aren't around in the summer
Great question.
in order to do face-to-face things, teach online, but how is that possibly worked out, how you can do your
Absolutely.
time if you're not?
Absolutely. So
on site?
great question. So you have someone that you are paired with. We have advocacy coordinators in our office that will work a case with you. So say you decide you want to do it and you're assigned a case and you're going to be not here for the whole summer. No problem. She'll see your kiddo. If your case is going to court or for review or anything like that, she will be present on your behalf. And if you decide, yeah, I'd like to do this, I'd like to take a case, and you say, ooh, I can't do this one, or, oh my gosh, something unexpected has happened in my life, I cannot do this, it's fine. And you can always be presented with a case, and this is what I tell my interns and the volunteers that we work with. If you're presented with a case and you know this is not a good fit for me, you can say, I can't do that. That's something I lived through and I'm not interested. Or me right now, if someone said, hey, how about this brand new baby? I can't do that because I'll try to take that baby home. But can I work with a gaggle of teenagers? Absolutely, because I don't want to bring them home. So yes, if you are out of town or if you are going somewhere for the summer and it's not an option, there's definitely, but it is volunteer based. So, we're definitely flexible.
And are you all accompanying people to court too? Or I guess if they requested, or is that?
Volunteers?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You get sworn in court, and if the court case is called, it's usually every 6 months for a review. We absolutely go to court with you. We rewrite a lovely report that we work on together and present it to the judge beforehand. But yes, we will sit with you in court or not if you don't want us to. So you can be involved. We have some classes that do 5 hours a month, and then we have some that do a couple hours a week. Just depends on what you have to give and what the case is about. The case is about. But yeah, and court here is in the juvenile court, right between DFACS and the health department, and then in Moultrie in the square, and on 84 equipment.
How many your staff, like paid staff and volunteers?
Great question. So we have in our office in Thomasville is myself, our executive director, and then we have a advocacy coordinator. Her name is Meg. And then in our office in Colquitt is myself and Rick Stewart, who is our advocacy coordinator there. And we have, I want to say, we just swore in a class of 13 in December, which is one of our largest classes ever. And so we have 13 new ones that serve Thomas and Brooks, and then we have about 13 total right now in Colquitt. So if people are interested, I have some little flyers up here. There's application. There's also some statistics. I know a lot of people like statistics. The numbers are really, really high in terms of children in care and children that need CASA. We just try to be that one person that is constant in their case. That's what we do ask. If you accept a case, you keep it to the end.
And what did you say for the training? How many is it? So it's 2 hours, how many times?
4, and it's building relationships with children, the system, and then also domestic violence, substance abuse, those things. And it's also depending on the group. You know, I have had a group of social workers. So obviously, school social workers at that. So obviously, we're not going to go into building relationships with children or child lifespan. You know, that might be more of the court system. So it just kind of depends on what people need. If there's teachers in the group or nurses in the group, sometimes they're able to answer the questions that I.
Is there a typical length of cases?
Awesome question. So when a child comes into the system, typically the case plan is for 12 months, and mom and or dad have 12 months to do X, Y, and Z to get their children back. Depending on the judge and the situation, the mother and father could do nothing the whole time, and we're headed towards, you know, terminating rights, and then in the 11th month, 20th day, someone decides to get a job, or someone decides to show up to court, and that can change things. Policy for defects is, if the children have been in care for 15 consecutive months, it is their policy that they have to file to terminate rights. But extensions happen. There's so many key players and so many things that change during the time. People that have stepped up to say, I want these children, I want to adopt, here's a home, change their mind, you know. So I've seen cases last, and I'm sure you guys have too, if you're familiar with the system, much, much longer than that. Our goal is permanence as quickly as possible.
But you're looking for at least a year commitment from a volunteer coming on to see through a case.
To see through a case, absolutely. Some are quicker, you know, some of these parents get it done and do what they have to do, and unfortunately a lot of them don't. But you know, if there's a 15-year-old who says, hey, I had this aunt growing up, I don't know if she's still around, but she might be interested, that's something you could do to advocate to speed this case up. Did you have a question?
I did. I'm the field director for the Bachelor of Social Work program here, and our students do internships their senior year that start at the end of August and go through the end of April. That wouldn't be a whole year or anything, but
That is okay.
you got some way to work with that?
Yes. I'm so glad you asked. So you're the internship coordinator for social work? Oh, great. So I work with Stacy,
Okay.
and we have one undergraduate and one graduate right now, but we will meet the needs in terms of interns. One of my interns needs 150 for the semester, and the other one needs 300. So their situation is going to look a little different. They might do courtesy visits. They might help us with the court reports. They might help us not doing a bunch of clerical junk, because I had that when I did internships. But yes, we would love an intern. And we would love to also just to educate them about what CASA is.
That'd be great.
Right? I like it.
Yeah, 200 hours a semester.
Great.
She's ready to work.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I know, having done internships, I've been on both sides of it. I've done practicum supervision for the program and supervising interns as well. I know that I have gone and then an intern right just sat there. So we love to engage interns, and also too, they can get a lot of hours if they're interested in observing court. Some people are fascinated by the court process. I personally am. And that's a great way to figure out the system. Again, working in the field for so long, we take for granted, but it's very easy to take that stuff for granted. But observing in court, you get to see what's defects, who's that attorney, why is he court appointed for the dad on this case, and then in the next case he represents the child. So great learning experience. Anyone else have any questions?
How many judges you typically do in the child welfare?
We have one in Colquitt County, one in Brooks County, and one in Thomas County.
So you know those people pretty well, I guess.
And we serve at the pleasure of the judge. So they decide if they want us in their courtroom or not. And they are pretty happy about us being there. In the state of Georgia, there's only 3 counties that don't have CASA right now. And those are being developed. So thank for that. But yeah, we have an excellent relationship with them. And I have seen the judges ask the attorney to stand up for the child, the attorney to stand up for the parent, and for CASA's stuff. And they read from our reports. It's a great way to make a difference. And you're not, someone said something earlier about being a foster parent. So you have the opportunity to make a difference, but you're not, but your boundaries are still in a great place. If that makes sense. We don't transport kids. So you're never the person that is solely responsible for the child. Some people come into the training and think, oh, great, I'm gonna, take this kid on and get him some cookies and buy him some new clothes and buy him some toys. And so that's not our role.
So how would you see the kid off site if you wanted to get the kid out of the environment to be able to speak more freely?
Awesome. So say you go to the foster home. You could be outside in the yard, outside in the front porch. You could see the child at school. I have a case that I serve, and I see that child at school. And the schools are pretty receptive to us, and so they let us speak privately in a room. But in terms of off-site, the idea is that you're not liable. So if you take him to McDonald's and something happens, he falls and gets hurt, you're not liable. If he's in the backyard and you're at the foster parent's house, you could say, hey, mama, he fell. And that's for her to address. Yes, ma'am.
Do you get any kind of negative feedback from family members? And how do you deal with it if you do? Because you're in a position to make recommendations, and yet that may go against what they want.
Great question. So
Yes. Would be my experience from guardian ad litem.
did you do guardian ad litem in Florida?
In Florida, I did.
Did you?
And there's just no getting around. If you've got a teen and parents that aren't doing well, and you're representing the kid.
Bill, where are you from in Florida?
Tallahassee.
Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. I would like to talk to you about this Tallahassee program.
They've done it in years.
Oh.
I didn't want. And my case went very long. It's like 2.5 years. But the program was very supportive, so
That's right.
just like.
And the 2.5 years, that's unfortunately not uncommon. And to answer your question, I guess it's kind of how you present yourself to the families. What I have done, well, 2 things. In court, they'll call the name for the mother, and is she present? No. Is she present? No, she's present. So unfortunately, I hate to say that, a lot of times the parents don't even show. However, the parents that do show, depending on how you are and how you interact, I personally like going to court. That's just one of the things I like at the job. I will sit and they will spill the beans. So that's an opportunity for me to say, hi, I'm Melanie and I am an advocate for your child. And a lot of times they will spill the beans because that's one more person that's willing to listen and They want to tell you how bad defects is because defects took their kids, you know, and so I will often just allow them to spill beans because that's all my information right there. But is there, I'm not, I hate to say they. A lot of times they spend so much energy blaming defects. They're not sure exactly what CASA is. So they know you're visiting with their child and they want to, I shouldn't say they.
So you're not really the bad guy.
Defects is always the bad guy. That's right. Unfortunately, defects is the bad guy. And we really encourage a positive relationship with defects. If anyone has ever been a caseworker or been in that role, they are always, I've never been a caseworker, but I know that they could work till midnight every night and their job would never be done, ever. You know, and lots of times people will say, well, defects took my kids. And we don't want to take your kids. We don't have anywhere to place your kids. Kids are not raised best in foster homes or group homes. They're raised best in their home. Does someone else have a question? Who wants to be a CASA and come to my first training in Thomasville? It is, it's the first Tuesday. This one is February 6th. And then in Caldwell County, it is that Monday, February 5th. So. And Stacy has my email. I don't need to, I'm not in contact Stacy, but
That's fine.
my email is a Thomas University email. And then I also have a CASA email, but I have information up here if anyone is interested or if anyone wants to stay after and ask me questions. I don't know how I'm doing on time.
So are your trainings basically once a quarter or something?
Our goal is to do them every other month, so February, April, every other month. February is the next one. And food. Always food. It's either 11 to 1 training or 5 to 7 training. Well, thank you all. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys taking the time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, and thanks to my online viewers.